The Amazing Maurice and His Educated Rodents by Terry Pratchett, book review. So this is another book in the Discworld series by Terry Pratchett. I've reviewed several of these books so far, and yeah, what can I say? I guess at this point I'm a fan. So yet another book. Although this one was a little bit different, or at least the marketing seemed to be a little bit different. The book I bought was labeled as a young adult book. And instead of being a Discworld book, it was called like a story of Discworld, which I don't know what that means. Like it's set in the Discworld universe, but it's not officially one of the Discworld books. Instead, it's like the young adult companion to Discworld, maybe. Except when you actually read the book, it reads just like any other Discworld book. So I think maybe this is just a marketing gimmick, and I'm treating it just like another Discworld book. I mean, the plot of the book, at least on the surface level, is a little Disney-esque. You know, it's a talking cat and a bunch of talking rats, and they pal about with a few kids. So it seems kind of very Disney-esque on the surface, but then like any other Discworld book, once you get into it, Pratchett is actually satirizing everything. And he, you know, for my impression was that he did not tone down anything or clean up anything. It's just kind of the same Pratchett irreverent humor that's in the quote-unquote adult Discworld books. So I think maybe this is a little bit cynical, but I think maybe the publishers were just hoping to tap into the young adult market, and this was just a marketing thing. Anyway, quibbles with the marketing and labeling of the book aside. The book is about a group of rats and Maurice the cat, who's their leader. Maurice the cat and this group of rats have become intelligent and gain the power of speech after just hanging around a magical dump behind the wizard's unseen university. So once they become intelligent and get the power of speech, Maurice acts as the manager, and they acquire a kid who, the kid is part of their group as well. The kid pretends to be the Pied Piper, and they go from town to town trying to scam the townspeople out of their money. Until they come to a town where things begin to go a little bit strange, and that's all I can really say without spoiling the book. As with any Terry Pratchett book, just describing the plot doesn't really do it justice. There's a lot of quirky humor in here which you don't get from the plot description. Not to mention all the quirky personalities Pratchett has managed to create. For example, there's Maurice, the cynical, manipulative cat. Then there's Dangerous Beans, who's one of the rats who has utopian dreams. And then there's Handpork, one of the older rats, who's having trouble adjusting to the change of being granted intelligence. And doesn't understand why it's bad to go around peeing on things, or whittling on things, as they call it in the book. And then there's Militia, who's the mayor's daughter of the town they end up in, who's read a few too many fairy tales for her own good. This being a Discworld book, of course, there's a brief cameo by Death, and of course also the death of rats. I think Death of Rats actually came up first in a previous book. But they both make an appearance here as well. So, yeah, it's, as with, you know, like I have the trouble every time I review a Discworld book, I end up repeating myself. I end up just saying it's really funny, and it's got a very clever plot. And this one, yeah, it's really funny and it's got a really clever plot, just like all the other Discworld books. So, as with any other Discworld book, highly recommended. If you haven't checked out the Discworld series yet, you're missing out. So, recommend this one.